All right, so the phone died and, well, it overheated. That's how you know the video is getting too long when your phone overheats. So just wanted to kind of finish up this video real quick. So I think where I left off was you want that build, but you don't, really want to pay what it costs to get that. That's fine. So, so then basically you had to start making sacrifices. So where do you make the cuts? Like for instance, these are the turn signal light buckets. Maybe you don't need this to be perfectly chromed and polished and everything like that. So you say, hey, whoever your builder is, hopefully it's not me at this point, and you're saying, and you say, hey, don't worry about that, just kind of scuff it up or clean it up the best that you can. The issue with that, what you got to also understand and consider is, like, if this piece originally, they never look this good, right? It's basically impossible. So even if it's in good shape, it's still going to take some work. Like, you don't want to put this, just totally untouched back on a car that you're quote unquote restoring or that you're having built. So you got to pay the guy to at least come in here, polish it, clean it all up. Sometimes little tabs are broken, things like that. So you're going to be paying the guy to do it halfway anyway. So it may be a little cheaper than sending this out, and this is probably, $100, 150, whatever they charge to chrome that. Well, if you're paying me and it takes me an hour to sit here and hand polish this and get it the best that I can by hand, then you're probably going to end up like 50 bucks anyway. So you will save, and I get it. And some things like the headlight buckets, that's where you can save some money versus this type of build. But you have to, consider, like, for instance, these brackets. So these are the brackets that hold those lights on. So if I'm doing your car, or if you got a decent shop doing your car, these are always really rusty, a lot of surface rust and stuff, just dirty. They've got grime on them. They're kicking up behind the bumpers for the last 50, 60 years. So most shops, hopefully you got a halfway decent shop, they're not gonna, put this dirty, rusty, bracket back on to hold that light on. But if you don't want to pay the guy to sandblast this and clean it up, and at least clean it up, it may not have to be powder coated and perfect like this, but if you don't want to even pay the guy to clean it up, then it's going to be tough to have a guy. Like, I wouldn't even do that. Like, I'd just say, hey man, I'm not putting this rusty piece back on your car. You're going to have to give me 20 bucks to clean this up or whatever, and that's going to add up. So you gotta pick and choose where you're gonna sacrifice. And so you guys have seen, just in this video now, so it'll be the end of it, but I just wanted to point this out. You guys have seen pictures where there's a lot of guys doing air ride on these cars now. So you'll see a lot of pictures where guys are bolting this stuff onto their cars. And it's kind of amazes me sometimes. You'll see this will be brand new shiny, this will be shiny and new. This is all powder coated from BC Fabs or Mob Steel or Devious or whoever you're getting your kits from, and they're bolting all these new shiny parts onto the bones of the car. Are disgusting. Like, they're still totally, they've never even been touched. It's like they didn't even try to wipe them off. It's got the grime and just years of packed up half-inch thick dirt and grease and all the old undercoating and shit like that. And it's just like, holy shit, they're just bolting all this shiny stuff onto, the original, like, they didn't even try, right? So I see that a lot, and I understand, I guess, like, I would never do that, but I guess I get where, like, if you're a shop and the customer says, hey, this is my budget, and you're squeezing it out and you're trying to make it work, well, you can't spend the time to do that correctly and to clean all that up. So I guess that's maybe why you see that sometimes. But it's funny, I see even guys doing things themselves and they do that too, because like I said, there's a lot of guys that don't care. You're never, most people are never going to see that, so who gives a shit? As long as it's shiny, that's all I care. Like, from the outside, the stuff that you see. So that's the lipstick on a pig. That's the, you've heard polish a turd, it's still a turd. Well, that's what I see when I see that type of stuff. It's like, okay, you bolt these few little shiny parts on, but you're really not doing, like, the bones of the car, which is really the most important, so that this car lasts and has no issues, and you can enjoy it and not have a lot of problems and stuff. But when you skip so much stuff, that's why these guys will say, well, I got the car, it was all restored 3 years ago, and now the paint's chipping off and it's having these issues. And you know, part of the reason you have a lot of those issues is because a lot of stuff was skipped. So hope this video helps. It was just to kind of show some of the differences of you know, what to expect, why the price ranges are what they are. And unfortunately, hopefully this will help some guys not get ripped off, or kind of understand what you're looking for in a car. So when you see one that maybe goes for 85 or 100 or something like that, or 120, you kind of understand why it was what it was. And when you see one go for 750 or 500, or a lot of them have been going in the 3 range, maybe you understand why that is, you know, what that is also. So just trying to shed a little bit of light on the different levels, especially when it comes to these Lincolns. So hope this video helps you guys, and we'll see you next time.